Hi guys, and welcome back to the Sicilian Revival. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have our last episode of the series. We have gone ahead by, I think, just the 4 years in the end, and we will see where we are at with Messina now. Obviously, we did retire. I had to add myself back into the game again to do the continuation, but let's have a look and see what has happened at Messina. Are they still a Serie A club? Is going to be the first question. We will go into them. They are still a Serie A club. So in the most recent campaign, they've just finished in 10th place. So fair play to them. They found a little bit of regularity, it would appear, with 49 points in that campaign and finishing 10th. So not bad at all. So we'll go back to where we left them. Where is it? Where were we? So this was the season that we ended at. We finished in second with them, just behind AC Milan. Let's see what happened in the following years. So the following campaign, they ended up finishing in 12th place. That's a very poor season, really, but it just shows how much we overachieve with the side. And 44 points, finishing in 12th place. At least they've remained in Serie A, so that is certainly a positive. The season after, they actually qualified for Europe again, a Conference League qualification, finishing in 7th place with 66 points. So, again, a little bit of positivity in there. They were qualifying for Europe once again. The following year, they dropped back down to 10th place, finishing on 49 points, and that was the current season. So, a little bit of a mixed bag. 3 mid table finishes for the most part, and of course, the current campaign. So it's what, one, two, three. So yeah, overall, not too bad. They've done pretty well, if truth be told. Um, they've qualified for Europe, of course, so it's even better for the one campaign. In relation to their recent history, of course, um, by the looks of things, I don't think they'll have actually won any tournaments. Obviously, we got runner-up with Serie A in 2032. We've actually only gone 3 years ahead. Sorry about that. I thought we'd gone 4 years ahead. Um, they won the Italian Super Cup as well after we left. So fair play. They've got a trophy on board there. Excellent stuff for that one. And in relation to transfer history, this was the year that we had with them. And looking at the following year, Sale Kumbedi went out on loan to Newcastle. Thomas Burdick was sold to Watford. A couple of loan deals going out. Angeloni left for Hull on a permanent deal as well. And Giorgio Carlino went on loan to Modena and then was sold at the end of the season. So a full set of transfers leaving the club. In terms of incomings, I mean, they signed Marco Nasty for £17 million by the looks of it. I don't know where they got that amount of money from because we certainly weren't promised that amount of money when we'd decided to leave. And in terms of the sales, they didn't make a lot of money either, unless there was a big sale at the end of last season. Yeah, as suspected, Andrea Morone left for Arsenal in a deal worth up to £65 million. Look at the player he's become. 20 goals in 41 caps for Italy. He's worth a stupid amount of money. And my word, has he become one of the best players in the world right now. What a player. I mean, he was a great player for us anyway, but he has really come on leaps and bounds. So that's where they got the money from. So Marco Nasti signing from Udinese, Giovanni Greco signing from Torino, Lamart signing £6.5 million. I mean, to be fair, there was quite a few players that they brought in for a good amount of money as well. So they certainly invested into the squad. So fair play to them for that. £38 million spent and just a £3 million received. The following year, again, a lot of money been spent. Justin Christoph left the club on a free transfer. Kambedi ended up leaving for Newcastle for £4.5 million. Nunziante they sold to Juventus. That's a huge surprise because he was a fantastic goalkeeper from our point of view. Gustavo Rivera went to Everton for £8.5 million. Abu Bangura to Bournemouth for 19.5. raising up to £25 million. So big sales again, and some of our key players loaned out as well, like Marco Verratti there as well. Plenty of players coming in at the same time. Though £71 million spent, 10 million on a player there. Mayulu from Rapid Vienna, who's an older player, it must be said. Creakles spent £5.5 million on him as well. £13 million on a player from Celtic. 10 million on Frendrup from Genoa. 17 million pounds on Shotard from Sheffield United. Some big deals. A lot of money spent. Lorenzo Kazufi as well from Bologna. So plenty of money's being spent again. They've certainly maintained themselves. So fair play to them. The season that we're currently in, they actually only spent £400,000. A lot of players loaned out. Rock Illich was sold, who was a young centre back. The only other player that left the club was Jan Kriekels, who lasted nearly half a season. So, I mean, in terms of players coming in, they didn't spend a lot of money at all this particular campaign, but they've certainly maintained. And in relation to the year that they qualified for the Conference League, was that this season? It was. So they're in the Conference League phase, and by the looks of it, they did pretty well in it as well. They beat Rapid Vienna in the round of 16. They lost in the quarter-final to Portuguese side Braga, but I mean, that was a dreadful month in April, wasn't it? 4 defeats and 2 draws. And they actually only won one game in May as well. So one win in their last 13 matches. Not good enough, really, from that point of view. And in relation to the Champions League campaign that we left them for, they were in the league phase. They lost to Michelin. They drew with Ajax, lost to Real Madrid. All of us, to be fair, that's a dreadful start to the season. They didn't win at all until late October, and all of a sudden, everything seemed to turn around for them. In the Champions League, they actually got a win against Malmo, so they did actually get a Champions League win, a draw with Benfica, but they didn't really get anywhere. They beat Inter Milan in the Super Cup, and then they beat AC Milan in the Super Cup final as well. So fair play. They did very well in the Super Cup to win that. And again, form completely derailing in the second half of the season. So they've not been anywhere near as strong. But, I mean, like I say, to be fair, as a target, they've stayed in Serie A and they've built a foundation. We finished second with them, of course. A 12th place, a 7th place, and a 10th place finish this year. Fair play to them. They've managed to maintain, and from a financial perspective, the sale of Baroni's clearly kept them going. And I'm quite glad, to be honest. I was expecting them potentially to go back down to Serie B, but they've maintained. They're a strong mid-table side now in Serie A, and they are fully established in the Italian top league. And that is where we wanted to return them. So therefore, the save has been a success. I'm not too sure at the time of recording, so I'm recording this a couple of weeks in advance at the moment. I'm not too sure on the next series at the moment. There will be something coming up for sure, but I'm not too sure what it is at the minute. Looking for something a little bit different. Similar style of game, of course, but maybe an Asian tour or something like that, maybe. We'll see what happens. I'm not too sure where it's going to go at the moment, but there will certainly be something new coming up very soon. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.